This is not a test.
Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude.
The U.S. will surpass Saudi Arabia in oil exports. The U.S. now pumps more oil than any other country. U.S. oil production has more than doubled over the past decade. The U.S. would no longer need to rely on foreign nations for oil. They can rely on oil pumped here at home.
Does the U.S. even want Venezuela's oil? Let's find out. Venezuela has the largest crude oil deposit in the world. Venezuela ranks 6th in oil production, pumping out only 211,000 barrels per day. Venezuela's oil deposit is called ultra-heavy crude, tar. Because of the oil's tar-like viscosity, depth, and non-existent technology, only less than 25% of the deposit is recoverable. Before the crude can be recovered, it has to be diluted in the ground, which adds to the cost of recovery. Only a handful of refineries are equipped to handle the heavy tar-like crude. Last December, Venezuela's oil output had fallen to 1.2 million barrels per day. Approximately 500,000 barrels per day of that supply was exported to the United States, or about 41% of its total crude exports. Due to the fact that Venezuela's crude is of extremely poor quality, it's perfect for the heavy oil refineries that lie along the coast of the Gulf of Mexico. You see, many of the refineries down in the Gulf coast are geared to handle heavier crudes. So, if the U.S. isn't after Venezuela's poor quality oil, what are they after? To start World War III? What about conducting an experiment? What about both? An experiment for what? For that, we have to go back to 2001, 6 months prior to the 9/11 attacks. A year prior to the September attacks, U.S. intelligence agencies put out an alert stating that planes could likely be hijacked and used as missiles to hit buildings. The president was also handed the report. 3 months prior to the September attacks, NORAD conducted war game simulations for that exact scenario. Final decision was that the scenario was unlikely and it would not happen. The alert was canceled. December 2018. In December 2018, the Department of Homeland Security put out an alert on their website stating that our electrical grid would be attacked and to also prepare for 6 months without electricity. The president was also handed the official report. It was also released to the public. The U.S. government then used DARPA to conduct electrical grid attack scenarios. Is all this starting to sound a little familiar? Present day, CIA enters Venezuela.
The Venezuelan Foreign Ministry is accusing the United States of orchestrating and celebrating an ongoing power outage in the country.
While in Venezuela people calmly handled the consequences of the electrical sabotage, the entourage of Donald Trump was celebrating and enjoying with guilty perversion the suffering of the Venezuelan people.
A few weeks ago, the Maduro regime blamed iguanas for causing a large electric grid blackout.
We have now received the first video of what caused tonight's unprecedented nationwide blackout in Venezuela.
After all we have seen, after the statements from the spokesperson of the North American Empire and those who support them here, no one can be so naive to believe this is a random event.
If it is one of those options, and a high-tech cyber attack has been made against Venezuela, the United States of America is the only government with the technology capable of carrying out a high-tech cyber attack.
After Venezuela erupted in chaos, the DHS stated there was no threat to the U.S. electrical grid, and the alert was removed from the DHS website. So did the CIA use the chaos in Venezuela as a reason to test the effects of a nationwide electrical grid attack before it happened here? Just like NORAD tested the plane hijacking scenario right before it happened? Because we know they aren't there for the oil. Let's have a look at the chaos the mainstream media says isn't happening in Venezuela.
Se está quemando la planta de terraza del club hípico.
¿Y se fue la luz? Medianoche del domingo. Holy shit. Eso es con cresa.
Me preocupa yo porque me va a llamar a Baudilio.
Mira la coñeta con full de ropa, pantalones.
Pantalones,
mira lo que lleva.
Mira. Eso todo que la mayoría son de la revancha. Mira dónde van aquellos, ya se fueron.
¿Y el ambicioso de qué?
Amor, cuidado, Ronald.
Ya va.
Ya va, Ronald, ya va. Ahí, para.
Está freno.
Ya va.
Aquí hay niño.
Ronald.
Ya.
Ay, Ronald, ya va, Ronald. Ya, papi, sube el vidrio, Luis, súbelo. Bueno, métete para acá, porfa.
Cuidado con tu güey, papi.
Una maldita metralleta. Allá para arriba no va a poder. Papi, pero que ponle si estoy aquí metido en el verguero. Voy para allá.
Dale para allá, papi, dale para allá.
Mira, abrieron, mira. De la Santa María se la van a comer.
Para el centro, vamos a cerrar el centro.
¿Y están trabajando? Allá viene gente arriba, viene gente arriba.
Vamos a cerrar el centro. De la tarde de hoy, lunes 11 de marzo. Miren este desastre, hermano mío. Miren este desespero de pueblo buscando alimentos, agua. Wow. No te digo más nada. Ahí llegaron los policías.
No van a hacer nada.
Wow. No pueden hacer nada, marico. Mira para adelante, alumbra para adelante. Esta verga, chico. Marico, ahí medio el país.
Los carros, verga.
Madre santa, mírala por los techos de las casas, mira vos.
A la verga, tirando piedras y todo, verga. Ya, papi, se prendió.
Hambre lo que hay que saber.
The Department of Homeland Security has decided not to investigate the electrical hacks from 2018 and 2017. Is that proof that the United States was experimenting on their own citizens?